Herc, you had a homework assignment. Not to tell us your ideal 11, but to tell us the probable 11, to look into the mind of Gregg Berhalter and guess what he's going to put out on the field against Germany on Saturday. What have you come up with?
I think it's going to be pretty accurate, maybe just one or two doubts here, but it's a pretty straightforward. Matt Turner in goal. I'm going Serginho Dest on the left. Remember, no Anthony Robinson. I don't think Lund will get the start. I think it'll actually be Dest, which means Scally on the right, Ream and Richards. I think he'll go back to Ream there, even though Ream wasn't that good in the last FIFA fixture window, and you can make an argument that hasn't been that good for Fulham either. Musa McKennie, no Tyler Adams will be very important. They're going to be back in that midfield. Gio Reyna, he mentioned it. Same plan as Folarin Balogun last FIFA fixture window of getting him minutes, and then Balogun up top with Timothy Weah and Christian Pulisic on the left-hand side, who's nobody's going to move Christian Pulisic right now, but I'm pretty certain this will be the 11 that we will see.
Okay, Herc, no surprises really here. Not too many big surprises. But the big headline is Gio Reyna. So talk to me about the decision here with Reyna. Not just kind of where you've put him, but what that means for the rest of the formation. And then beyond that, I'm very curious in your choice to start him here, because we know he's basically played, 26 minutes of first-team football
24
in the last 4 months. No starts. And on top of that, we know about his injury history. So walk me through your choice here.
Yeah, pretty straightforward. What have you always said about Gregg Berhalter? Sometimes he talks a little too much. He plays his hand. Gregg Berhalter said he's going to do the same thing he did, same plan as Folarin Balogun. He's going to give, like he did, Balogun played the very first game, 45 minutes, second game, 45 minutes as well, got 2 consecutive starts. I think we're going to see something similar. He's going to try to build his minutes. That means starting him. So I think he'll get that start, maybe just 45 minutes and go from there. We'll see what happens in the second game, but it makes a ton of sense. It's Germany. It's an opponent that Gio Reyna knows very well, and here's the important thing. You need to get Gio Reyna going. I don't care what you do. If anything in this window, we need to see how Gio Reyna fits under Gregg Berhalter, because when we saw him at his best, Gio Reyna's best, it was over the summer, and it was against Mexico and Canada with BJ Callahan. So I don't think BJ Callahan made many moves without consulting Gregg Berhalter. Maybe this was always in the plans about Gio being a 10, but no Tyler Adams. Weston McKennie and Yunus Musa will be there. You need somebody in front of him that could be a little bit more creative. That is Gio Reyna. You need to get the player with the highest ceiling in this pool going. How can he fit in here? And then a good Gio Reyna showing, a good Gregg Berhalter, U.S. men's national team showing against these two quality opponents. That's going to put a lot of that talk of Gio Reyna behind them. Anything else, anything short of that is just going to invite more of that talk in. So you need to get Gio Reyna going, and it's going to be very important for him.
I wonder if you'll agree with me here. I feel like the 11 for the U.S., more and more every camp, kind of picks itself. Like there's not a lot of areas where you have a really difficult decision, either for us as we look at it from the outside, or I think for Gregg Berhalter on the inside. The biggest question is one I think that we can table, right? It's the elephant in the room. What do you do if and when you get a Tyler Adams back into this group, right? How would he potentially fit into this? Because what we saw, Herc, is that 4-2-3-1 that you just put up. It looked really good against Mexico. It looked really good against Canada. What if it looks really good against Germany? Then you've got a real question with Tyler Adams, because he's obviously a good player. He can obviously help you out. But do you go ahead and disrupt something that really at this point seems to be building momentum, and for me is the next kind of evolution of this national team? The other questions that I had for you based on your 11 were the back line. I think you explained pretty well why you're going Dest to the left side, right? You just feel he's better at that spot than everybody else behind Robinson. Scally to the right makes sense. I do have to acknowledge, I do have to point out that you have dropped Tim Ream into the center of defense, despite the fact that you on this show have tried to retire him many, many times. It seems like you've come around to my stance, which is it's awfully useful to have a left-footed center back in your pool who plays in the Premier League. Even if you're not going to start him, no matter how old he's going to be in 2026, he's very, very useful.
I know you don't listen to me, but do you not listen to yourself when you talk? You just mentioned it wasn't my ideal 11. It was my probable 11 into the mind of Gregg Berhalter.
Okay.
So why are you then surprised that I crawled into Gregg Berhalter's mind and picked Tim Ream?
So you wouldn't have Tim Ream is what you're saying. Who would you have?
Who would I have? Oh,
yes.
Cameron Carter-Vickers, Miles Robinson. Yes. I think it's
anybody but.
Well, no. I explained it last go around, and I was proved right. Tim Ream may redeem himself this go around, but at some point, 3 years from now, all you're doing is asking a player who loses instinct, who loses reflex, who loses physical ability to be the same player he was 4 years ago in the World Cup. I just don't think the odds are in his favor for that. So I would like to get another player that experience or that duo partnership moving forward. I don't think that's too crazy of an ask.